Welcome to this SkillPad video resource where we make learning simple. In this video, we are going to look at spreadsheets. From paper grids to digital powerhouses. Welcome to the world of spreadsheets. So, imagine a large sheet of paper divided into a grid of boxes. This grid is made up of rows that run horizontally and columns that run vertically. For many years, people used these paper grids, called ledger sheets, to organize information. They would write numbers and text into the boxes to keep track of things like money, inventory, or student grades. A spreadsheet is essentially a digital version of this ledger sheet. It is a computer application designed to store, organize, and manipulate data in a tabular format. Think of it as an intelligent table that can do math for you, making it an incredibly powerful tool for anyone working with numbers and information in our modern digital world. The primary purpose of a spreadsheet is to help you manage data effectively. Instead of using a calculator and a notepad to figure out your monthly budget, you can enter all your income and expenses into a spreadsheet. The program can then automatically calculate your total spending and show you how much money you have left. This ability to perform calculations automatically is what makes spreadsheets so special. They are not just static tables. They are dynamic tools that react to the data you enter. This makes them perfect for tasks that involve repetitive calculations or require you to analyze large amounts of information quickly and accurately, removing the risk of human error in manual calculations. Spreadsheets are used everywhere by almost everyone. A student might use one to track their assignment scores and calculate their final grade. A small business owner might use a spreadsheet to manage their payroll, track sales figures, and create financial reports for the year. Even in your personal life, a spreadsheet can be a fantastic assistant. You could use it to plan a vacation, manage a list of contacts, or even create a workout schedule. The applications are nearly endless because the fundamental structure of rows and columns is a very natural and intuitive way to organize most types of data we encounter daily, making it a versatile skill to learn. As an ICT student, understanding spreadsheets is a fundamental skill that will open many doors for you. It is a foundational concept in computing that touches upon data management, data analysis, and even basic programming logic through formulas and functions. Learning how to use a spreadsheet application like Microsoft Excel will provide you with a practical tool that you can apply in your studies and future career. It will help you understand how data is structured and processed, which is a core concept in information technology. Mastering spreadsheets is your first major step toward becoming proficient in handling the digital information that powers our world and its industries. Long before computers sat on every desk, people relied on manual spreadsheets. These were physical sheets of paper, often large ones called ledger or columnar pads, ruled with a grid of rows and columns. An accountant or bookkeeper would meticulously write down figures using a pen or pencil. Every single calculation had to be done by hand or with a separate adding machine. If a number changed, it was a tedious process. The person would need an eraser, and then they would have to recalculate every total that depended on that number. This process was slow, prone to errors, and required immense patience and attention to detail to maintain accuracy across the board. The arrival of computers brought about a revolution, the electronic spreadsheet. This type of spreadsheet is a software program that runs on a computer, tablet, or even a smartphone. It presents the same familiar grid of rows and columns, but with a world of difference in capability. Instead of writing with a pen, you type data into digital boxes called cells. The real magic happens when you need to perform calculations. You can tell the spreadsheet to add, subtract, multiply, or divide numbers automatically using formulas. If you change a value in one cell, the spreadsheet instantly recalculates every other cell connected to it, saving an enormous amount of time and effort. The journey of the electronic spreadsheet is a fascinating part of ICT history. The very first popular spreadsheet program was called VisiCalc, released in 1979. It was a killer app that made people want to buy personal computers just to use it. Following its success, other applications emerged. Lotus 123 became the industry standard during the 1980s, especially on computers running the MS-DOS operating system. Then came Microsoft Excel, which rose to dominate the market with its user-friendly graphical interface on Windows and Mac computers. Other notable examples include Corel Quattro Pro and the free open-source option OpenOffice Calc, which is now part of the LibreOffice suite. Today, Microsoft Excel is the most widely used spreadsheet application in the world, a standard in both business and education. However, the principles you learn in Excel can be applied to any other spreadsheet program, including cloud-based options like Google Sheets. The core concept remains the same: organizing data in a grid to make it easy to manage and analyze. Understanding the difference between a manual ledger and a powerful electronic tool like Excel helps you appreciate the incredible technological leap we've made. It highlights how software can automate complex tasks, increase efficiency, and empower users to make better decisions based on accurate, up-to-date information. One of the most significant advantages of using an electronic spreadsheet is the incredible speed and efficiency it offers. Imagine you have a list of 100 items with their prices, and you need to calculate the total cost. Manually, this would involve punching each number into a calculator and writing down the result, a process that could take several minutes and is susceptible to keying errors. With an electronic spreadsheet, you can simply select all the prices and use a sum function. The answer appears in less than a second. This speed is not just for simple addition, it applies to complex financial models and statistical analyses, turning hours of manual work into mere moments of automated processing. Accuracy is another key benefit that cannot be overstated. Humans make mistakes, especially when performing repetitive calculations. It is easy to misread a number, press the wrong key on a calculator, or forget a step in a long formula. Electronic spreadsheets eliminate these manual calculation errors. Once you have entered the correct formula, the computer will execute it perfectly every time. If you need to change a piece of data, the spreadsheet automatically updates all related calculations, ensuring that your entire document remains consistent and accurate. This reliability is crucial in fields like accounting, engineering, and scientific research, where even a small error can have significant consequences. Electronic spreadsheets also make it incredibly easy to edit and format your data. In a manual system, making a change can be messy. You might have to use an eraser or correction fluid, which can make the document look unprofessional. If you need to insert a new row of data in the middle of a paper ledger, you might have to rewrite the entire sheet. In a program like Excel, you can insert or delete rows and columns with a few clicks. You can also change fonts, add colors, apply borders, and resize cells to make your data easy to read and understand. This formatting capability transforms a simple data table into a professional-looking report. Finally, electronic spreadsheets offer powerful features for analysis and presentation that are impossible with paper. You can easily sort your data from largest to smallest, or alphabetize a list of names. You can filter data to show only the information that meets specific criteria, helping you focus on what is most important. Perhaps most impressively, you can transform your raw numbers into colorful and insightful charts and graphs. A bar chart can make sales comparisons instantly clear, and a line graph can beautifully illustrate a trend over time. This ability to visualize data is a powerful tool for communicating your findings to others in a way that is both engaging and easy to comprehend. An electronic spreadsheet file is often called a workbook. Think of a workbook as a digital binder or notebook. Just like a physical binder can hold many sheets of paper, a workbook can contain one or more worksheets. Each worksheet is an individual grid where you enter and work with your data. You can see tabs at the bottom of the screen, each representing a different worksheet. This structure is incredibly useful for organizing related information. For example, a business might have one workbook for its annual budget, with separate worksheets for each month, one for January, one for February, and so on. This keeps all the data in one convenient file while still keeping it neatly separated. Within a worksheet, you will find other important components. The core of the spreadsheet, the grid itself, can also function as a simple database. A database is an organized collection of data. In a spreadsheet, each row can represent a complete record, like all the information for a single employee: name, Idaho, position, salary. Each column can represent a specific field of data, such as a list of all employee names. This database-like structure allows you to easily sort, filter, and search your information. You can quickly find a specific employee's record or create a list of all employees in a particular department, making it a powerful tool for data management. The third major component is the chart. A chart is a graphical representation of the data in your worksheet. Spreadsheets make it incredibly easy to create professional-looking charts and graphs to help you and others understand the story your data is telling. Instead of looking at a massive table of sales figures, you can create a pie chart to show the percentage of sales from each region, or a line chart to track sales growth over the past year. These visual tools are essential for analysis and for presenting your findings in reports and presentations. They make complex data accessible and easy to digest for any audience, regardless of their technical expertise. The practical applications of these components are found everywhere. In accounting, spreadsheets are essential for creating budgets, tracking expenses, and preparing financial statements like balance sheets and income statements. For math and science, they are used to perform complex calculations, analyze experimental data, and model scientific phenomena. Businesses use spreadsheets for forecasting, where they predict future sales, revenue, or resource needs based on past data. This is called what-if analysis. For example, you can change a variable, like the price of a product, to instantly see how that change might affect your overall profit, helping you make smarter business decisions. When you first open a spreadsheet program like Microsoft Excel, you are presented with the main screen, which can seem a bit overwhelming at first. Let's break it down into its key parts. At the very top of the window is the title bar. This bar displays the name of the program you are using, such as Microsoft Excel, and the name of the workbook file you currently have open, like Book 1. It also contains the standard window control buttons to minimize, maximize, or close the application. Think of it as the sign on the door, telling you where you are and giving you the basic controls to manage the window itself. Just below the title bar, you will find the menu bar, which in modern versions of Excel is organized into a set of tabs called the ribbon. This is your main command center. It contains tabs like File, Home, Insert, Page Layout, Formulas, and Data. Each tab is related to a specific type of task. For example, the Home tab contains the most frequently used commands for formatting and editing, while the Insert tab is where you go to add things like charts, pictures, and tables to your worksheet. Clicking on a tab reveals a new set of tools and options related to that category, making it easy to find the command you need. Below the ribbon, there are two very important little boxes. On the left is the name box. Normally, the name box displays the address of the active cell, the cell you currently have selected. For example, if you click on the cell in the first column and first row, the name box will show A1. On the right is the formula bar. This long bar is where you can see the contents of the active cell. If the cell contains simple text or a number, you will see that text or number in the formula bar. More importantly, if the cell contains a formula, the cell itself will show the calculated result, but the formula bar will show you the actual formula used to get that result. The main area of the screen is the worksheet grid itself, which is made up of columns and rows. Columns are the vertical dividers and are identified by letters at the top, A, B, C, and so on. Rows are the horizontal dividers and are identified by numbers on the side, 1, 2, 3, and so on. The intersection of a column and a row is called a cell. Each cell has a unique address or cell reference, which is formed by combining its column letter and row number. For example, the cell at the intersection of column D and row 8 is called cell D8. This simple grid system is the foundation upon which all spreadsheet work is built. Your journey with spreadsheets begins with a few basic operations: opening, entering data, and saving your work. To start a new worksheet, you simply open your spreadsheet application, like Excel. It will usually greet you with an option to create a blank workbook. Clicking this opens a fresh, empty grid ready for your data. To open an existing workbook that you have already saved, you would use the File menu and select Open. Then you can browse your computer's files to find and select the spreadsheet you want to work on. This is the starting point for any task, whether you are creating something new or continuing previous work. Once your worksheet is open, you can start entering data. This is as simple as clicking on a cell and typing. You can enter three main types of data into a cell text, also called labels, numbers, also called values, and formulas. To enter data, click on the cell where you want the information to go. For example, cell D4. Then type your text or numbers. When you are finished, you can press the Enter key to move to the cell below or the Tab key to move to the cell to the right. This makes it easy to quickly fill in a table of data row by row or column by column without having to constantly use your mouse to select the next cell. After you have entered some data, it is crucial to save your work. You would not want a power outage or a computer crash to erase all your effort. To save a workbook for the first time, go to the File menu and choose Save As. This will open a dialog box where you can choose a location on your computer to store the file and give it a descriptive name like Office Tooltips. After saving it once, you can simply click the Save button or press Ctrl+S periodically to update the file with your latest changes. It is a good habit to save your work frequently so you never lose your progress. Sometimes you may have sensitive information in your worksheet that you want to protect from being changed by others. Spreadsheet applications allow you to protect your work. You can protect an entire worksheet or even the entire workbook with a password. This can prevent others from viewing the file or making unauthorized edits. To do this, you typically go to the File menu, select Info, and then choose the Protect Workbook option. From there, you can choose to encrypt the file with a password. This adds a layer of security, which is especially important for business or financial documents containing confidential data. Once data is in your worksheet, you will want to format it to make it clear and professional. You can change the appearance of your text by making it bold, italic, or underlined. You can also change the font type and size, just like in a word processor. You can adjust the width of columns or the height of rows to make sure all your data is visible. To do this, you can simply click and drag the border between the column letters or row numbers. For important data, you can fill cells with color or add borders to make them stand out. You can even freeze rows or columns, which is useful when you have a large table. Freezing the top row keeps your headers visible as you scroll down through your data. Spreadsheets are famous for their ability to perform calculations using functions. A function is a pre-built formula that makes complex calculations easy. For example, to add a column of numbers, you don't have to type equals B2 plus B3 plus B4 and so on. You can simply use the sum function, like this, equals sum, open parenthesis, B2 colon B6, close parenthesis. This tells Excel to add all the numbers from cell B2 through B6. There are hundreds of functions available for mathematical operations like average, min, and max, statistical analysis, and much more. Using functions is a core skill that transforms your spreadsheet from a simple table into a powerful calculator that saves you time and reduces errors. Another powerful feature is the ability to sort your data. Imagine you have a list of students and their test scores. You might want to see who has the highest score or arrange the list alphabetically by name. With a spreadsheet, this is easy. You can select your data and use the sort command, which is usually found on the Data tab. You can choose to sort a column from A to Z, which is ascending, or from Z to A, which is descending. For numbers, you can sort from smallest to largest or largest to smallest. This helps you quickly organize and analyze your information to find what you are looking for. Finally, one of the most exciting things you can do is create charts to visualize your data. A chart can make trends and comparisons much easier to see than a table of raw numbers. To create a chart, you simply select the data you want to include, go to the Insert tab, and choose a chart type. Common types include bar charts for comparing quantities, line charts for showing trends over time, and pie charts for showing parts of a whole. Once created, you can customize your chart by adding titles, changing colors, and adjusting the layout to make it a perfect visual summary of your data, ready for any report or presentation. Spreadsheets are truly an indispensable tool, and with these skills, you are ready to start using them effectively. Thank you for using this SkillPad video resource. We hope it was resourceful. Come with us as we journey through the world of technology for your learning pleasure. We hope to see you again soon.